Hello children, hope you all are in the pink of your health. So today I'll start with a new poem, that is The Solitary Reaper. I hope you have understood the lesson, the Queen's Tree. I took it in two parts. Okay, today I'll be taking a new poem for you, and that is The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth. Okay, William Wordsworth. Now, William Wordsworth is also one of the most famous writer or poet in English literature. Okay, William Wordsworth was born in the year 1770 and died in the year 1850. That is, he died at the age of 80. Was a notable English romantic poet who, along with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, wrote lyrical ballads and formally launched the age of Romanticism in English literature. He became the Poet Laureate of Britain in 1843. Okay, now here, Solitary Reaper. Now when you hear the title, solitary, solitude means lonely. A reaper, who is a reaper? One who reaps the grass or one who works in a field is known as a reaper. Now this poem is about a solitary reaper by William Wordsworth. Now let us see what he has got to say, or what is there in the poem before we come down to the poem. In this poem, the speaker describes an incident when on one of his walks in Scotland, he came across a Highland girl singing melodiously as she worked in the field. He could not understand the words of the song, but appreciated the tune, its expressive beauty, and its soothing effect on him. Okay? So William Wordsworth, once on his walk in Scotland, came across a Highland lass. He came across a girl who was singing melodiously, and he just couldn't understand the language. But the song was so beautiful that it could be heard in his ears. It was vibrating in his ears, though he went long, long away. Okay? So let us see how this poem is. Behold her, single in the field, yon solitary Highland lass, reaping and singing by herself, stop here or gently pass. Behold her single in the field, yon solitary Highland lass. Now she is standing alone in the field, and there she is reaping in the field. She is reaping in the field, and she is singing by herself. You stop here or gently pass. She is not bothered who is passing over there. She is continuing with her work. Alone she cuts and binds the grain. What is she doing? She is cutting the grains, she is putting it outside, then she is binding it together, tying it. And while doing this work, she is singing. Okay? And singing a melancholy strain. Who listen for the wail profound is overflowing with the sound. She is cutting and she is binding the grains. She is singing a melancholy strain, a sad tune, a sad song. Who listen for the vale profound. Vale means it's a valley, which is surrounded by mountains. Valley means in between it will be flat, it will be surrounded by mountains. So where the area is flat, usually people do their farming over there. Okay, so the grains get the required amount of water. Now she is reaping. She is standing alone. She is reaping, and her voice is echoing in the valley. Her voice is echoing in the valley. Who listen for the vale profound is overflowing with the sound. When do we use the word overflowing? When you fill a glass with water, you only fill up to the brim. But when you try to fill it more, what happens? The water overflows, right? Now here, what is overflowing? Here, the song of the Highland girl, the Highland lass, is overflowing the valley. So in the poem he says, yon solitary Highland lass. Now Highland over here is the mountain regions of Scotland, and lass means girl. So this girl is from the mountain regions of Scotland, and there she is standing alone, reaping the grains in the field and singing a melancholy strain. She is singing a melancholy song, a sad song, and it can be heard in the whole valley. No nightingale did ever chaunt more welcome notes to weary bands, who travellers in some shady haunt among Arabian sands. So she's saying, no nightingale did, what is he trying to say? That the song was so beautiful that nobody ever has heard such a beautiful song. That is, when the voice is very nice, which bird do we compare? We compare that so-called girl to a nightingale, because nightingale is one of the birds which sings most beautifully, right? It wakes us up early in the morning, or you can hear the song of a nightingale when the night is very, very silent. So early morning, you can hear, very early in the morning, before even you hear the cry of a crow, you can hear the sound of a nightingale. It's very, very beautiful. So, no nightingale did ever chaunt, no nightingale has sung such a beautiful song, more welcome notes to weary bands of travellers in some shady haunt among Arabian sands. So nobody has sung such a beautiful song to tired travellers, because in those days there were no buses, cars or jeeps or trains or aeroplanes. People used to go up and down walking. So when they used to walk, feel tired, there were inns in between, that is rest houses in between. Go over there, take a rest and go. Walk up. They may have something with them to eat, or they cook their own food, and again, or they find a shady place, they sit over there, take rest and walk. So here is saying, more welcome no nightingale did ever chaunt, more welcome notes to weary bands of travellers in some shady haunt among Arabian sands. Now Arabian sands means the Arabian deserts, where people walk, and nobody has sung such a beautiful song to the tired travellers. A voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the seas among the forest herb rides. So, a voice was never heard before. He had never heard such a voice before, even in springtime, from the cuckoo bird. Okay? Cuckoo bird is also considered as a bird which sings very beautifully. And springtime, see, we have got only 3 seasons, that is rainy season, summer season and winter season. But it is springtime in the areas or in countries where it is very, very cold. That is, in cold countries, they have got 4 seasons. The winter season is divided into 2, autumn and winter. And after that, the summer season for us is the spring season for them. And in the spring season, that is during winter, everything is, that is, you cannot find any birds. The trees are covered with snow. No birds can fly. Everything is in a state of stagnancy during that time. It is again, the life comes out again only during the spring season. So, in springtime from the cuckoo bird, the poet had not heard such a beautiful song. Breaking the silence of the seas among the forest herb rides. The silence of the sea is also broken by the beautiful rendering of this girl, or the beautiful song by this, what I should say, the solitary reaper. Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow for old, unhappy, far off things and battles long ago. Or is it some more humble lay? So will no one tell me? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow, sad and mourning. Plaintive numbers flow, that is, sad and mourning. Now the poet cannot understand the language. He wants somebody to tell him what is she singing. But from the tune that he has heard, he feels that it is for old, unhappy, far off things and battles long ago. That is, battles which were held long ago. Perhaps it is for them. Or is it some more humbly? Or is it some narrative poem or lyrics? Is she singing that song? Familiar matter of today? Some natural sorrow, loss or pain that has been and may be again. So he just wants to know what the song is about, whether it is about some battle, whether it is some poem or lyrics, or whether it is something which has come out from our heart, sorrow, pain, that is something which is hurting her, that has been and may be again, or that has been in herself, or it may be repeated. That is why she is singing that song. Whatever the theme the maiden sang. Now the poet is saying, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me at all. Whatever the theme the maiden sang, as if a song could have no ending. For me, that song didn't have any ending. I saw her singing at her work and over the sickle bending. I only saw her singing, bending on the reeds and singing. Okay? So with her sickle nana in the Arivala. And I'm sure you all are familiar. We are all from Alapura. And don't tell me that you have not seen a sickle. If you have not seen a sickle, today itself you should make it a point to see what a sickle is. I'm sure you all have seen it. And it is a shame if you say that you don't know or you have not seen a sickle. Because we belong to a place where farming is one of that is 70% of the people have got farming as their occupation in this region. And we live in a region which is one of the best one. That is, we live in a region which is covered with backwaters. Okay? So don't tell me you don't know what a sickle is. I'm sure you all know what a sickle is. And the poet is saying, whatever the theme the maiden sang, as if a song could have no ending, I saw her singing at her work and over the sickle bending. She was bending with a sickle and cutting the grains. Okay? So doesn't make any difference to me what the matter or what the content was in the song. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it to the fullest. I listened motionless and still. I listened to the song. I was motionless. I became still. And as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore, long after it was heard no more. So he's saying, I listened, motionless and still. As I mounted up the hill, I was walking, and as I was climbing the hill, I could hear the song. The music in my heart I bore. I kept the music in my heart long after it was heard no more. The music remained in me. As I walked further, I couldn't hear it, but it was in my heart. Okay? So, here one more thing the poet is trying to convey to us is that song doesn't have any language. Whichever language it is sung, you can understand whether it is a sad song or a happy one or something. Even if you can't follow the words, you cannot find out the meanings of the words, but still you will enjoy it. So, song sung by anybody sweetly is enjoyed by all ages at all times round the world. So, Solitary Reaper is one of the most famous poem by William Wordsworth. I hope you have enjoyed this poem. Go through this poem, read it at least 3 to 4 times. It will be soothing for you also. You will also enjoy it. Okay? Thank you, my dear children. Have a nice day. Have a blissful day. Keep going. Okay? Take care of yourself. Thank you.